This is Sports Gambling with Ben Wright and Blake Martin. Click. Alright, so there are 9 different types of bets that you can make in sports gambling. Ben, would you mind reading those off?
Sure. There are the straight bets, proposition bets, parlays, progressive parlays, teaser bets, run line, puck line, goal line bets, future wagers, second half bets, and in-play betting.
The first bet that we have here is a straight bet. A straight bet is a bet on the spread or prediction of the outcome of the game by experts. If you bet on a team that's predicted to win, and they do, you only get the money if they win by how much that bet were to be predicted to. So basically, an example of a type of straight bet, say that Duke was predicted to beat North Carolina by 6 points, and you say that you're going to bet that Duke is going to win. You only get that money if Duke wins by 6. We're good.
The next type of bet is a proposition bet, which is a bet made on very specific outcomes of a game. For example, how many touchdowns a team will score, how many passing yards a quarterback will throw, how many points Kobe will score in a game. So you only get that money if they end up scoring as much as you think they will, which is usually like computed by computers, have like projections of what they'll do, like fantasy football, like all that kind of stuff. So.
Parlay. Parlay is a bet on the outcome of multiple games. Usually 12 games is the maximum amount of parlay bets that you can make. You only get the money in a parlay bet if they win every single game in that parlay bet. So say that you have a bet that Duke's going to win, North Carolina's going to win, and then Maryland's going to win. You only get that bet if all 3 of those teams win. So if any combination of them are supposed to lose, you don't get that money. Next one.
Next ones are progressive parlay bets, which is really similar to parlay bets, except if you lose a single bet, you don't lose all of it. But if you win all the hands, the payout will be less because you can lose 1 or 2 games, so the payout's less than a normal parlay bet. So yeah, it's a little safer, but the payout's not as large, which we find out with most Vegas things. So.
Next one. Next bet is a teaser bet. A teaser bet allows you to combine bets on 2 or more games and adjust the point spread. You must get all games correct to win these bets. And these ones are kind of more of the advanced bets, like you're not going to go to a casino or a place that accepts regular sports betting, and you're not going to see this one be taken very often. This is for like the higher level bettors, like stuff like that. Next one.
Alright, the next ones are run line, puck line, and goal line bets. These are straight bets with straight bets that are an alternative for baseball, hockey, and soccer. They're bets that are like fixed points to offer higher payouts for the favorite and like vice versa. So like it's pretty much a straight bet, but it's for baseball, hockey, and soccer, as you can see with the names: run line, puck line, and goal line bets.
Next one. The next type of bet is a future wager bet, and these are bets on games in advance. So say that you, at the beginning of a football season, you're looking at teams that are going to play, and you think that the Broncos are going to be a good team this year. So what you would do is you would go ahead and make a bet and say that they're going to win the Super Bowl. Now these bets have pretty high payoffs, and normally the odds are not in your favor for this to happen.
Alright, the next ones are second half bets, which are a little easier than straight bets because you have an advantage because you see the halftime score. And it's a bet made at halftime with lower payouts. You typically make the bet that a team will cross a certain spread or score over a certain number of points. So like say, for example, Duke and North Carolina are playing again, and Duke is favored by 6, but at halftime they're up by 20. You can bet on them to win because it's most likely going to happen, but the payout will be very small, maybe not even worth it.
Next one is an in-play bet, and we have a video later that will explain this more in depth. But an in-play bet is basically the game is going on, and you're going to bet during the middle of it about like something that's going to happen. Like say you're going to bet that Michael Crabtree is going to catch a touchdown pass, or Peyton Manning's going to throw a touchdown pass next. It's basically just like the next event that might happen, or you can just say that from this point, I would like to bet that they're going to win the game. And that's our video, which is 8 minutes long.
It's as easy as getting on your laptop or phone and getting on a website, Google Sports Betting, and this website's just like sportsbook.com come up, and then you just click on that, and then there's a plethora of options to bet on. Like, you can bet on the Ravens and Patriots games going on right now. Like, you can bet on, there's straight bets, there's going to be the teasers and the parlays, but then there's also, like, the in-play bets, like who's going to score the first touchdown, what's going to be the margin of victory, how many total points are going to be scored, what quarter is going to have the highest number of points in it. And then there's also, just on this first page, future bets, like who's going to be the Super Bowl MVP in a couple weeks, like what college teams are going to be in the BCS championship next year, who's going to win the Heisman Trophy next year. And then like down here, here's your parlays and teasers. And a bunch of NBA games pop up because those are the only ones that are going to be recent. And like there's going to be the Pacers-Grizzlies game, the Kings-Hornets, Rockets-Bobcats. So all you have to do is just pick who you think is going to win each one of those games. You have to get them all right, obviously, to win, but the payout will be pretty large. And then there's the, you want to talk about the odds?
Yeah, I'll get that. If you look up here, which you probably can't see on this TV or this recorder, but they show the point spreads for each game. And if you look at the Pacers-Grizzlies, the Pacers are favored by 7 points. So if you make a straight bet on that game, you're saying that the Pacers are going to beat the Grizzlies by more than 7 points. So that's one thing to take into account with certain odds and everything. And they have a big like machine that produces algorithms and stuff that show who's going to win by this certain amount. Also, they have over-under bets, which say that you're predicting that the score is going to be over or under certain numbers, or just saying that somebody is going to do a certain thing. And I think that's pretty much it.
That's it for the parlays and teasers. But and then there's also, as you saw in the video, live betting at that hotel. And then, so here's all the live betting stuff you can do right now. There's NCAA basketball, NFL, NBA, and soccer. It's the only thing you can bet on right now. But let's see. Let's go to some NFL. All right, there's a game going on right now, the 49ers and Falcons game, and you can still bet on it even though it's already going on. So the odds are different than they were at the beginning of the game, so you bet on those odds. Like, my computer just refreshed with new odds. Like, the Falcons are favored. Oh, it just changed again. The Falcons are favored. They're still favored above the 49ers, but not as much because it's a close game. You can still bet on it, but the payout's not going to be as good since you already know. Exotics, which aren't really sports bets. We thought they were pretty interesting. Like, you want to see some of them are?
Yeah, some of the exotic bets that we saw was you can bet on who's going to win the 2016 U.S. election. I don't know about you, but my money's on Mitt Romney. You can also place a bet on who's going to win the 85th Academy Awards. They got categories for Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, which, you know, just Academy Awards and stuff. Also, one that we found that was interesting was you can bet on the Cousin Sal versus Joe House competitive eating contest, which
It's a big one.
it's a very big competition. Joe House is favored, I think.
Yeah, he's up there. He's the number 5 eater in the country.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
he's a very fast eater, very powerful, much
better than Joe House, apparently.
Yes, much better than Joe House. Joe House has been struggling. So Cousin Sal's got the edge. It's up to you whether you want to bet or not. I think that's all for the exotics. That one was pretty cool. Now we're going to take a look at horses, and Ben, I'll let you take over.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that you can do this online because we just went to Keeneland last week and bet on horses. And so, yeah, you can do that on here. You can go pick your track. This loads. Yeah, you can,
It's been very slow right now.
it's just not working with me. There we go. There's got your featured races and your upcoming races. And, like, the tracks that are going right now are Sunland Park, Santa Anita Park, and Oaklawn Park. So you can pick your track that you want to race at, or bet on, and then it gives you all the like environmental factors of the track. Like this race is going to be 6 furlongs on dirt, and whoever wins is going to get 34 grand, which would be pretty nice. And then there's a list of all the horses here with all the odds right now before the race starts, which they're always changed. Like Tap It Dancer's a 3-1. He's the best horse in there apparently. While Joyful Tap's a 20-1. It's probably not going to win, but it's got a higher payout. And then you can go bet on different horses. You can bet on different types of horses. Like there's a thoroughbred section, there's a stallion section. And then you can bet on the different types of harnesses the horses use, which is pretty weird. But yeah, there's the horses. And then like something else interesting is you can bet on like literally any sporting event in the world, like as long as it's pretty big. Like I can type in any sports team name, like say Real Madrid. And then all the betting will come up that you can bet on Real Madrid. Like there's going to be it loads. Anyway, there's a game on the 28th of May, so it's a little while away, but that's going to be a future bet. You can bet on who's going to win that. They're playing Atletico Madrid, and like the lines are already up here. Actually, the next game is February. I lied. But they're going to be playing Manchester United, and Manchester United is favored in that game. You can also bet that they tie, which is also pretty likely in soccer. And then, like, you can't do it in live betting yet, but during the game, like, you can just type in any team you want. Like, your favorite team, you can just type them in and bet on them all day long if you really want to. And, like, the sports on here are tennis, you can bet on MMA, golf, that's pretty exciting. You can bet on, like, NASCAR, if you're into NASCAR. Soccer, baseball, hockey, NHL just got started back up. Just get your betting going on that. And then basketball and football are the main sports. But there's, like, a drag down here where you can do, like, cricket and all that stuff. So there's the online sports betting for you.
From the what was we talking about? The
Online,
website,
yeah.
the online website. And this is the Black Sox World Series scandal. This happened in 1919, and it involved 8 of the White Sox baseball players. They were intentionally throwing baseball games to try to win money on like bets and stuff, and they did get punished for life. They were persuaded by professional gambler Joseph Sport Sullivan, and he paid the 8 players to intentionally lose the games. This is one of the earliest fixed games ever recorded in any type of sports. The MLB banned them for life, and future Hall of Famer, or well, he's not in the Hall of Fame right now, but there's much debate on letting him in. Pete Rose, he was convicted for the same thing, and he has been banned from the MLB for life as well. They said that the main reason why those players decided to do it was because they had a mutual dislike for the club owner, Charles Comiskey, and he was known for underpaying players. Some famous players that were on this White Sox team were players like Shoeless Joe Jackson, and I think it's the only one I named, but he had one of like the best ever like recorded batting averages in a full season, and there's much debate about letting him into the Hall of Fame. I think he might already be in there. I'm not sure.
I think he might be. I think they'd eventually let him in.
Yeah,
Then
the next one.
The next scandal is the 1951 point shaving scandal, which over 25 former college basketball players were accused of fixing games yet again. It's one of the biggest problems with sports gambling is you can fix it. But estimators say that there were at least 86 games that were fixed, which is a huge amount. And there were 20 players and 14 gamblers who were indicted and convicted. That's the only ones they found. There were apparently more since there were 86 games that were fixed. And the big names that were involved were Jack Molinas, who bet on his own team at the Columbia University, which isn't allowed. You can't bet on your own team. Ralph Beard and Alex Groza, who were All-Americans at the University of Kentucky, and first-round NBA draft picks who were caught shaving points in the late 40s. And then Sherman White, who compared as the Michael Jordan of his time, was 77 points shy of being the all-time single-season point scorer record before being caught and banned for life. So, I mean, this is kind of a serious deal. If you get caught, like, fixing games, you're gone. There's no questions asked.
Yeah. It's not even just like there's big names that are out there fixing games too. It's not just like it's like the lower level like players. It ranges through everybody. The next one that we have is the Paul Hornung and Alex Karras scandal. Both of these players were suspended for the 1963 season after betting on NFL games and being associated with gamblers. Hornung bet over $500 on different games, and Karras made at least a dozen $50 to $100 bets, which probably equaled about the same amount of money total. This caused a big ruckus around the league because Hornung was the 1961 Super Bowl MVP. So it just shows again that there are superstars that are out there fixing games. It's not just anybody that's doing it. And Karras was also All-Pro for most of his career. They were only suspended for the 1963 season, which is different from the NBA and MLB approaches because those players were banned for life while they were just banned for one season. I think a big difference in this one is they were might not have been betting on their own games, but maybe on other games, which is still illegal if you're playing in the NBA.